So starting off at number 10, we have Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder very famously dated Johnny Depp in 1989 to 1993, and they had a very public and somewhat messy relationship. But in the end, the two are very fond of each other, and they have such a good relationship that Winona made a point to defend Johnny when Amber was accusing him of horrible things. In a statement, Ryder said, quote, "I understand that it is very important that I speak from my own experience, as I obviously was not there during his marriage to Amber. But from my experience, which was so wildly different, I was absolutely shocked, confused, and upset when I heard the accusations against him. The idea that he is an incredibly violent person is the farthest thing from the Johnny I knew and loved. I cannot wrap my head around these accusations. I truly and honestly only know him as a really good man, an incredibly loving, extremely caring guy who is so very protective of me and the people that he loves, and I felt so very, very safe with him." And even though she made a point to not dismiss Amber's claims, she felt the need to let everyone know that Johnny was nothing but a perfect gentleman in their relationship. In at number 9, Vanessa Paradis. Vanessa Paradis was in a relationship with Depp from 1998 to 2012, and they shared 2 children together. She also made a point to defend Johnny and make it clear this picture Amber was painting of him was false, saying in her statement, quote, "I've known Johnny for more than 25 years and we raised our 2 children together. Through all these years, I've known Johnny to be a kind, attentive, generous, and non-violent person and father." And then referring to the new allegations, she added, quote, "This is nothing like the true Johnny I have known, and from my personal experience of many years, I can say he was never violent or to me." So yet again, another former partner who was brave enough to say the truth about Johnny, even though I'm sure at the time she got tons of hate for going against a fellow woman. And at number 8, Sia. Sia's statements in support of Johnny are the most recent on this list, but out of seemingly nowhere, the singer came out on Twitter to address her support for Depp. She started by tweeting out a video showing the leaked audio recordings of Amber Heard talking about how she had lost it on Johnny in the past. Then she made her support even clearer, tweeting out, quote, "Just showing my public support for Johnny Depp. I mean, I'd love him to get clean and stop with the jewelry, but he's clearly the victim after hearing those tapes." But Sia wasn't even done, and she finished off her support by calling out Amber Heard's former boyfriend, Elon Musk, writing, quote, "Also at Elon Musk, didn't you give her the $7 million she donated from her settlement? She still came out $7 million richer. Why are you protecting her? She will never get the help she needs if we all stay silent." So clearly Sia is very opinionated on the matter and wants to see Amber Heard brought to justice, and really you can't blame her at this point. In at number 7, Alysson Paradis. The Paradis family is very clearly a big fan of Johnny Depp because Vanessa Paradis' sister Alysson also made a point to defend Johnny. She showed her support in the form of an Instagram post, posting a picture of what looks to be the 2 of them together, then writing in the caption, quote, "You are and always will be family to me. You are one of the funniest and most loving people I know." And it's not always a given for your in-laws to like you, so the fact that they are going out of their way to defend Johnny like this is really huge in my eyes. And at number 6, Lily Rose Depp. And of course his daughter Lily Rose Depp made a point to defend her father against the claims. She first posted a screenshot of an article from People, which showed that the LAPD had been to the couple's house after Amber called them, but they didn't find any proof that Depp had caused any harm, so no charges were pressed. With a statement reading in part, quote, "There was no evidence of any crime. A crime did not occur, so the officers left the scene and left a business card." Then she posted a photo of her and her dad back when she was just a baby, captioning the photo, quote, "My dad is the sweetest, most loving person I know. He's been nothing but a wonderful father to my little brother and I. And everyone who knows him would say the same." So here it is very clear that she supports her father and wants everyone to know that at that point there was no proof of anything other than what Amber had said happened. Halfway number 5, Laura Wasser. Laura Wasser is Johnny Depp's attorney, and of course it's her job to protect and defend Johnny, so she would make statements in support of him. But in one statement where she spoke of the case, she said that Heard was, quote, "attempting to secure a premature financial resolution by alleging abuse," adding, quote, "her current application for a temporary restraining order, along with her financial requests, appears to be in response to the negative media attention she received earlier this week after filing for divorce. Yet Johnny cannot protect himself or Amber from media scrutiny, and Amber's anger certainly cannot drive this dissolution proceeding." Continuing that Amber doesn't need any of Johnny's money because she's a successful actress and should have had plenty of money of her own. With Wasser adding that Heard took advantage of Depp at an emotional time, as his mother had only died 3 days before Heard filed for divorce. So here Wasser is trying to make it clear that Heard has bad intentions and not only wants to exploit Johnny for money, but wants control of her press narrative as well, which I think perfectly shows, the kind of person that Amber is. And at number 4, Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany is an actor who has worked alongside Johnny Depp in 3 movies in the past: Transcendence, The Tourist, and Mordecai. And because of all the times the two have worked together, Bettany figures he was a good person to be a character witness of Depp's. Bettany showed his support on Twitter, writing, quote, "Known Johnny Depp for years and through several relationships. He's the sweetest, kindest, gentlest man I've ever known." Just saying. With most of the replies under the tweet thanking him for speaking out, and commenting that he was right now that the news came out that leaked audio recordings showed that Amber had hurt Johnny before. And at number 3, David Yates. Johnny Depp was announced as playing Grindelwald in the sequel film Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. And after the announcement, there were cries to exclude him from the film and recast, after reports surfaced of Amber Heard's accusations. But after much deliberation, the director David Yates and other studio executives made the decision to keep him in the film. And after some backlash, Yates himself came out with a statement on the matter. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Yates said, quote, "Amber's claims were one person who took a pop at him and claimed something. Whatever accusation was out there, it doesn't tally with the kind of human being I've been working with." So clearly here, Yates felt that the accusations were false from the get-go. And at number 2, J.K. Rowling. In the same context as Yates, J.K. Rowling also had to make a public statement after her and the other studio executives made the decision to keep him in the film. According to the statement, after claims were made about Depp, it was considered that the studio recast him. But Rowling implied that the fans might not know the full story on the matter, implying that Amber was hiding things. Saying in this statement, quote, "For me personally, the inability to speak openly to fans about this issue has been difficult, frustrating, and at times painful. However, the agreements that have been put in place to protect the privacy of 2 people, both of whom have expressed a desire to get on with their lives, must be respected. Based on our understanding of the circumstances, the filmmakers and I are not only comfortable sticking with our original casting, but are genuinely happy to have Johnny playing a major character in the movies." So clearly there, Rowling felt that she knew the truth and stuck to her guns. And finally, number 1, Laura Divenere. Laura Divenere is an interior decorator to many stars, so it's safe to say she's seen celebrities in their truest lights. And even though she's a former friend of Amber Heard's, she did the right thing and made a statement against her in court for the defense of Johnny. In it, Divenere claims that she didn't see Amber Heard's bruises after an alleged fight between her and Depp on May 21st of 2016. And even though Amber tried to release a recording making the statement look false, Johnny's lawyers included an email from after the recordings saying again that Divenere had never seen bruises on Amber's body. And although the timeline of events can be pretty confusing, since Divenere has continued stating that she never saw the bruises, this pokes more holes in Amber's story and clearly proves that she lied.
At number 10, allegedly fighting her sister. Johnny Depp isn't the only person that's allegedly been a victim of Amber Heard's violence. There are reports that suggest that Amber has allegedly abused her sister. Coming from the defamation case between Amber and Johnny, a recording from a 2006 reality show featuring Amber's sister Whitney seems to show evidence of a physical altercation between the sisters. In the footage, we see Whitney along with a group of girls sitting around a pool when someone asks her if she had gotten into a fight, when Whitney replies, quote, "I got into an altercation." Another person chimes in saying, quote, "I can't believe Amber beat your ass." The other girls continue to ask Whitney about the altercation, but she refuses to say more about the incident. The courts are using this as evidence to support the abuse towards Whitney, as Amber was referred to by name, and there were visible signs of abuse on Whitney's body, as well as the fact that Whitney didn't even deny that she had the altercation with her sister. Though there are other people who deny that there was a physical altercation between Whitney and Amber, we have yet to learn whether or not that is true. And at number 9, alleged affairs. Along with having allegedly been abusive towards Johnny, she has also allegedly had affairs with multiple people during their relationship. Some names that have been thrown around having had relationships with Amber are Cara Delevingne, Elon Musk, and James Franco. As their alleged affair concerns the defamation trial, both James Franco and Elon Musk have been ordered to hand in any records of messages or any forms of communication with the actress. Apparently, Amber, Cara, and Elon had a group affair in Johnny's downtown LA penthouse, and there is also video footage of Amber meeting with James Franco also in 2016 where they went to the same LA penthouse. Coming in at number 8, arrested for abuse. Back in 2009, Amber Heard was arrested for abuse against her then partner Tazia Von Ray. The two had a 5-year-long relationship, and though Tazia has come to Amber's defense defense, there's no getting away from the alleged abuse that took place at a Seattle airport. According to the arresting officer, she witnessed Amber hit Ray and then was arrested and booked for the misdemeanor battery charge. Though there was a witness to the incident, the prosecutor refused to move forward with the case and it was dismissed. In response to the charges, Ray told sources that the incident was blown out of proportions and that the arresting officer was homophobic and that's why Amber was arrested, but the officer actually wrote to her Facebook saying that she identifies as a gay woman and that she issued the arrest not out of spite, but because she saw the whole thing unfold. At number 7, manipulating the press. According to Amber, the press is where you make all your money, and it seems like she's an expert in finessing the system. It seems like Amber likes to keep the press on their toes and needs to stay relevant, even if that means tearing someone else down. According to sources, Amber filed for divorce from Johnny Depp just days after his mother died back in 2016, and she filed for a restraining order just a few days before the premiere of his film Alice Through the Looking Glass. It seems whenever Johnny is going through something major and potentially newsworthy, Amber is right behind him ready to overshadow him with her own news. To support this argument, one of Johnny's friends even came out saying that Amber was trying to blackmail Johnny to the press about their alleged abuse in order to stay relevant. As of right now, she's still staying relevant thanks to Johnny, but not at all for the right reasons. In at number 6, dog smuggling. Back in 2015, Amber got into some pretty big trouble after she illegally smuggled her 2 dogs, Pistol and Boo, into Australia. According to sources, Amber was fully aware that bringing her dogs into the country was illegal, but she ignored those warnings and did it anyway. The story garnered national attention as she and Johnny were held in the courts for the crime of illegally bringing their dogs with them into the country. It is also said that Amber asked her former assistant to lie under oath to the Australian courts to say that Amber was unaware of the illegality of her actions, even though she was made aware many times before their trip. Luckily for her assistant, the person who was told to tell them to lie refused to do so, but it still goes to show the lengths that Amber will go to in order to stay squeaky clean. Halfway through at number 5, Amber's deposition. There's a clip circulating the internet of Amber being deposed during one of the many lawsuits that she's endured through her legal battles with ex-husband Johnny Depp. This video in particular shows Amber trying to describe how Depp abused her, and it's honestly kind of painful to watch. In the video, she's trying to talk about an instance of abuse, but it looks like she's just trying to play a character. We now know that a lot of the allegations of abuse aren't true, so this clip kind of helps to paint the picture that she was making the whole thing up. Her struggling to talk and what sounds like forced crying just doesn't help her image anymore, although it probably worked back then when the allegations still stood. In at 4, Amber's audio. Back in February of this year, the Daily Mail got a hold of audio recordings of Amber which had the actress admitting to abusing Johnny. In the recording, you could hear Amber and Johnny talking about an instance of domestic violence in which Heard said, quote, "I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you, babe, you're not punched." End quote. This 2-hour therapy session recording was one of the first instances of violence that was brought to light, showing that Amber was actually the abuser and not Johnny. But there are plenty more instances of abuse between the two of them, but this specific line shows how Amber seemed to have downplayed the situation. In the recording, she also goes on to mock and taunt Johnny, telling him to grow up and stop acting like a baby. The recording also showcases Johnny asking Amber to not be physical and genuinely trying to de-escalate things.
"I can't promise you that I'll be perfect. I can't promise you I won't get physical again. God, I sometimes get so mad I lose it."
And to hear her tell him that she can't promise that she won't be physical again is absolutely heartbreaking. At number 3, secretly recording Johnny. In an attempt to sort of plant evidence in a way, Amber Heard secretly recorded Johnny Depp when he was angry. This footage, though edited, was given to the Sun publication in order to paint Johnny as a violent and angry person. But just recently, with their trial underway, the full video has been released and is now shedding a new light on the situation. Though the original footage showed Johnny in an angered state, this new untouched footage shows Amber almost egging him on. The video highlights Amber not being concerned with Johnny's well-being, even though he is clearly upset, and the end of the clip shows Amber smiling and laughing at Johnny. To make matters worse, it is said that this footage was filmed just a few days after Johnny's mom passed away and after having millions of dollars stolen from him, so that's why he's understandably upset in the footage. A lot of people who have commented on the video point out that Amber is more concerned about capturing the footage than she is with her distressed husband, but it also shows how instead of inflicting any any sort of violence on Amber, Johnny takes his anger out on objects like cupboards or cups, never once going to inflict pain on Amber.
Amber Laura Heard was born and raised in Texas and made her film debut in a minor supporting role for the sports drama called Friday Night Lights. Following that, she appeared in other smaller roles in both television and film, although her first leading role came when she starred in the horror flick called All the Boys Love Mandy Lane in 2006. However, the film was not released in the United States until 2013 due to distribution problems. By far her big breakthrough roles though came in 2008 when she was cast in the action film called Never Back Down and the stoner comedy Pineapple Express, both of which were huge box office success stories. Now Amber is still booking roles. Recently she took part in a TV series called The Stand, and she has one other film in pre-production. In 2011, Amber Heard worked opposite Johnny Depp in the film called The Rum Diary. The movie was about an American journalist, Paul Kemp, who takes a freelance job in Puerto Rico for a local newspaper during the 1960s. The movie follows him as he struggles to find balance between island culture and the expatriates who live there. A few years after Johnny Depp and Amber Heard first met on that set, the two began dating after Depp and longtime partner Vanessa Paradis called it quits. At the same time, Heard had also split with her partner Tasha Van Reed, although that separation is really where Amber began formulating a bad reputation. According to USA Today, Amber was arrested in 2009 for physically assaulting her then-girlfriend Van Reed at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport in Washington. Apparently the two had gotten into a disagreement after Heard allegedly grabbed and hit Van Reed's arm. All charges were eventually dropped, with Tasha claiming that the situation was over-sensationalized in the media. Regardless, the general public just saw the headline of Amber assaulting her girlfriend, and thus the narrative was off to the races. By 2015, Depp and Heard had gotten married in a private ceremony at their home in LA. Later that year, Amber found herself in more trouble after she breached Australia's biosecurity laws when she failed to declare that her dogs were arriving with her in the country. As a result, the couple had to do this super cringy apology video together. Fast forward to 2016, and that's where this couple's toxic side really began to show. On May 23, 2016, Heard filed for divorce from Depp and obtained a temporary restraining order against him as well. At the time of the divorce, Amber alleged that Depp threw a phone at her, leaving the actress with a bruised face. Although a police spokesman told People magazine that an investigation into the domestic incident radio call found no evidence that a crime had actually taken place. Depp continued to deny the allegations made against him, and through his legal representatives, they believe Heard had concocted the story in an attempt to secure premature financial resolution by alleging this abuse. Now, here's perhaps a really good reason to never trust Amber Heard. According to The Hollywood Reporter, after their divorce was finalized in 2017, it included a non-disparagement clause, which prohibited either party from saying anything negative about the high-profile relationship and the subsequent breakup. You'd think that the drama would have ended with that, but nope. The following year, Amber wrote a scathing op-ed piece for the Washington Post in which she completely disparaged Johnny Depp without directly mentioning his name. It was very sneaky and opened up a can of worms that just couldn't be closed. In the op-ed, Heard writes, "I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out," which is just an outright lie. She did not become a public figure representing domestic abuse, unless she's including that assault on her former girlfriend. She isn't though. She's trying to say that she was the face of domestic abuse after the police confirmed that there was no evidence of this. Yet still, she fully believes that she is the victim of her culture's wrath, when in reality, it was the public responding to someone lying through their teeth. The biggest indicator that she is truly living inside of her own bubble is this statement. "I'm old enough to remember that in 2017 we were going through what was called the Me Too movement. Plenty of powerful and prominent men were either arrested or fired for their inappropriate actions. I'm sure by now you're starting to get the gist of why Hollywood shouldn't be casting Amber. I mean, if you consider lying as a form of acting, well then she's pretty good at that, but I don't think they do. And from a studio standpoint, why would you ever trust someone who has repeatedly tried to change the narrative while accepting no blame whatsoever? That doesn't really seem like the type of person that you would want to work with." Additionally, the number of signatures to have her removed from Aquaman 2 has now surpassed 1.5 million and is on its way to 2 million. That is a big deal whether Hollywood wants to admit it or not. If you put Amber in anything now, you know that there will be an outpouring of Johnny Depp supporters who will either try to get it taken down or just outright advocate for a boycott.
This video is going to be a little bit different from most of the top 10 lists that you're used to seeing on this channel, but please let us know down below when it's over if you want to see more videos like this one. Amber Heard made her film debut from a minor role back in 2004 in Friday Night Lights, and from there she worked pretty consistently in Hollywood and landed some bigger roles. Perhaps the biggest one was when she acted alongside Johnny Depp in The Rum Diary.
This one or this one?
What are these for? Party?
It's for Carnival.
The pair were cast as each other's love interest in the film adaptation of Hunter S. Thompson's novel, although they didn't officially begin dating until 2012 after Depp and his longtime partner Vanessa called it quits. Depp and Heard kept their relationship extremely private until they made their first appearance as a couple at the 7th annual Heaven Gala in January of 2014. And just a few days later, the couple was engaged. After getting married in 2015, their love and joy for each other though would be very short-lived. According to Variety, Johnny Depp had suffered a bad hand injury while he was filming Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales in Australia. Although this hand injury wasn't anything like from a dangerous movie stunt, but rather due to an argument that he had with Amber Heard. Then in March of 2015, Depp was reportedly injured again, but this time it was from a massive fight that led to smashed bottles and broken windows. According to reports, this fight led to Depp accidentally slicing off a portion of one of his fingers. Also, I'm speaking a lot about what happened to Johnny Depp in this video because you can't really speak about the truth of Amber Heard without mentioning how she's affected him. Before Amber, Depp was rarely in the press, but as soon as they became a couple, it felt like they were in the news for something every other day. Which, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to piece together that she may have been the catalyst to all of this madness. I mean, in April of 2016, they had to do this really awkward apology video because I guess they violated Australia's biosecurity codes by not declaring the Yorkshire Terriers that she brought into the country. I mean, take a look at this.
Australians are just as unique, both warm and direct. When you disrespect Australian law, they will tell you firmly.
I am truly sorry that Pistol and Boo were not declared.
Now, fast forward to May of 2016, just 15 months after they said I do, and now the once happy couple is getting divorced. Vanity Fair was the first to report on this and said that Heard had cited irreconcilable differences. Not too long after that news broke though, Amber filed a restraining order against Johnny Depp, claiming that he had harmed her. She then wrote a scathing op-ed piece for the Washington Post after their divorce was finalized, citing that Depp, without, directly naming him, I'll give her that, he had abused her several times in their relationship. This led to Depp suing her and the Post for defamation, as the article generated so much negativity around his name that even Disney dropped him from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Although they still maintain that it was due to them wanting to go in a new direction, but the timing suggests otherwise. The truth about Amber Heard is that she did this because she wanted to generate positive publicity around her name, in order to advance her career while simultaneously destroying Johnny Depp's. She even went as far as allegedly painting on bruises for which Depp argued that he was actually the victim. While Amber Heard accused Johnny Depp of domestic violence, the Aquaman star was actually arrested for alleged domestic violence against her former partner photographer Tassia Van Ree in September of 2009. According to TMZ, Heard and Van Ree got into an argument at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, and Heard allegedly struck Van Ree. She was then arrested and booked for misdemeanor domestic violence, but the prosecutor declined to move forward, supposedly because both of these women lived in California. Perhaps one of the biggest tells that Amber Heard has completely lost her mind is the fact that before she left Depp's house, she left him a little present. Although she denies it, many people saw the poop that she left on Johnny Depp's bed and immediately blamed Amber for pooping on the sheets. What is this? You know what I mean? Like, she actually blamed her Yorkshire Terrier, but other people are also suggesting that her co-conspirators and friends had a little bit of a role in this one.
It was not left by a 3 or 4 pound dog. I was convinced that it was either Miss Heard herself or one of her cohorts involved in leaving human feces on the bed.
Allegedly, she had been trying to set Depp up for a long time, and in doing so involved 2 of her friends. Just recently, Johnny Depp's security chief alleged that Amber Heard had actually physically abused Depp throughout their marriage. During the court proceedings, security officer Sean Bett appeared in court and gave his witness statement. In the statement, he said, "Throughout the course of Mr. Depp and Miss Heard's relationship, Miss Heard was verbally and physically abusive towards Mr. Depp," adding that on many occasions I witnessed her shout at Mr. Depp. I was also told by Mr. Depp on multiple occasions that Miss Heard had physically abused him. As for the credibility of this man, he was a former Los Angeles sheriff deputy that worked for Depp for the last decade. According to him, Miss Heard often behaved this way when she had been drinking, so he had to learn quickly to recognize the signs so that he could calm a situation before it escalated. Depp's security was cross-examined by lawyer Sasha Wass, who questioned his claim that he had never seen Heard with the bruises or marks on her face, but had several times witnessed Depp with multiple bruises inflicted by Miss Heard. Even though this is called the truth about Amber Heard, we have to say that some of the details that we just discussed have yet to be officially confirmed, so please do not take all of what I said as gospel, but rather an insight into this toxic romantic relationship that this pair had together. The reason that I assumed Amber may have been the catalyst, as I said earlier, is due to Depp's former romantic partners coming forward to defend him. Both Winona Ryder and Vanessa Paradis said that he never abused them physically, verbally, or otherwise, so it's a bit strange to see all of these sudden accusations coming out against someone that has such a, I don't know, clean track record, for lack of a better expression.
At number 10, lying about donations. This is one of the most recent things Amber has been exposed for, and it says a lot about her. She was exposed this year after lying about donations that she allegedly made to 2 charities, and after people found out about it, it just gave people yet another reason to turn on the actress. As some of you may recall, when Johnny and Amber reached a divorce settlement, Johnny was ordered to pay Amber a total of about $7 million. When she received that money, instead of spending it, she claimed that she would split the money and would donate the full amount to 2 charities, the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles and the American Civil Liberties Union. But recently, Johnny Depp has called his ex out for lying about donating the money and claims that she just pocketed most of the money and made a much smaller donation than was promised. Though Johnny's lawyers tried to speak with the ACLU about Amber's donation, they never made a comment, but the Children's Hospital said that the donation that they received from Amber was a total of $100,000 that was much less than the $3.5 million that she was promised. Amber's team responded to Johnny's allegations that Amber pocketed the money, saying that because of her legal drama with her ex-husband, Amber, quote, has been delayed in that goal because Mr. Depp filed a lawsuit against her, and consequently she has been forced to spend millions of dollars defending Mr. Depp's false accusations against her, end quote. It seems like she's once again putting the blame on Johnny for her own actions. At number 9, Johnny's finger. One of the most gruesome stories to have been revealed during Johnny and Amber's court case was the story about how Amber allegedly severed the tip of her partner's finger. As if there was enough violence being thrown around, there is also accusations that Amber was the cause of Johnny's severed finger. During their defamation lawsuit, Johnny claimed that the injury that caused him to lose the tip of his finger was caused by Amber in an incident that happened about a month after they were married, where Amber was throwing glass bottles at Johnny, one of which ended up slicing his finger, severing the tip of it. Now, this was no small injury, and anyone close enough to Johnny would notice that there was something wrong. During a press conference for the film Black Mass in 2015, actress Dakota Johnson noticed that something was wrong with Johnny's finger, and she asked him what happened quietly at their table. When Dakota asked about it, Johnny looked visibly distraught and just laughed it off, but you could tell by the look on her face that she wasn't buying whatever lie Johnny had given her. In a way, Dakota got a glimpse into the terror that Johnny was living, and she was almost given a warning as to what was to come from Amber Heard and the allegations that would soon come out. As a result of his injury, Johnny had to receive multiple surgeries to correct his finger and had also caused him serious harm to his health, as he nearly died after contracting MSRA. All of this happened while he was trying to hide everything behind a fake smile that no one was buying. Before I carry on with the list, I'd like to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and also maybe go ahead and hit that subscribe button while you're at it. At number 8, audio confession. Back in February last year, the public got its first real glimpse into the terrifying world of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp after the Daily Mail got a hold of audio recordings of Amber, which had the actress admitting to getting physical with Johnny. In the recording, you could hear Amber and Johnny talking about an instance of laying a hand on her husband, in which Heard says, quote, "I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you, I was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched," end quote.
I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
In another part of the audio recording, Johnny admits to Amber that he's scared of her because of how she gets aggressive and physical in some situations. In the recording, Amber also goes on to mock and taunt Johnny, telling him to grow up and stop acting like a baby. The exchanges between the two of them in this recording show the sad truth of their relationship, showing us that it was beyond toxic, and the fact that this was recorded shows that Johnny wanted someone else to hear just how things really were for him. At number 7, dog smuggling. Back in 2015, Amber and Johnny got into some really big trouble after they illegally smuggled their 2 dogs, Pistol and Boo, into Australia. Apparently, they didn't fill out the paperwork to allow their pets entry into the country, and as a result, they were held accountable for their actions. But whose fault was it really? According to sources, Amber was fully aware that bringing her dogs into the country was illegal, but she ignored those warnings and did it anyway. Amber allegedly persuaded Johnny as well as her assistants to help her get her dogs into the country, country and lie to authorities. Johnny knew what he was doing was wrong, but he still went along with it, and that begs the question of why he agreed to help. Some people believe that Johnny only went along with his wife's request because she had been manipulating him. Following everything we know about how Amber treated Johnny, that doesn't seem like such a far-fetched idea. The fact that she was able to manipulate people into committing a crime she knew was serious shows a lot about Amber's true character, and in a way was a warning sign of Amber's true colors. At number 6, Johnny's career. In years past, Johnny Depp has had a really successful career. He was acting in films alongside some of the biggest names in Hollywood, and many of his films turned out to be huge successes. But later on, after being tied to Amber, the quality of his performances and films started to decline. Many people credited this loss in success to the fact that Johnny was abusing substances, but now we have to take a step back and ask ourselves why is that, and what that says about Amber. It is said that towards the end of Johnny's run on Pirates of the Caribbean, the actor was given an earpiece so that his lines could be read to him while on set because he was too inebriated to remember his lines himself. For someone to be that out of it, there has to be something seriously wrong, and many people believe that that thing was in fact Amber. Johnny was in so much pain that he had to numb it with substances, and that took a big toll on his work and livelihood. In a way, this was Johnny warning us about how his life was behind closed doors, and it's sad that no one really noticed the severity of what was going on until now. At number 5, deposition. When this whole Amber and Johnny thing blew up, people started looking at the deposition footage more carefully, analyzing every word and every movement. After the world discovered that Amber was the villain in this relationship, going back to look at her deposition clips made things a whole lot clearer. There's a clip in particular that shows Amber trying to describe how Johnny hurt her, and it's honestly kind of painful to watch because it almost looks more like a performance rather than a testimonial. In the video, she's trying to talk about an instance where Johnny got physical with her, but it almost looks like she's trying to play a character, playing it up to look more dramatic. We now know that a lot of her allegations against Johnny aren't true, so this clip kind of helps to paint the picture that she was just making the whole thing up. The fact that she was stuttering and struggling to talk, and what would seem like forced crying, just showed that she was just trying to manipulate people into believing her side of the story, which in a way shows us how she was able to brainwash Johnny for that whole time. At number 4, perjury investigation. But speaking of manipulation, Amber was recently exposed for having set up a fake scene to make people believe that Johnny had hurt her, and it goes to show the lengths that she will go to in order to create the narrative that best serves her. Body cam footage from 2016 revealed that Amber wasn't entirely honest about her claims regarding an alleged instance of violence that happened in the couple's home. In her statement, Amber said that her apartment was left in disarray after the incident, but this police footage shows that the apartment wasn't really all that messed up, and it was believed that she gave a false statement and staged the scene. Had this incident been more recent, she could have faced a serious penalty, but since this happened years ago, Amber is able to walk away from these allegations without facing repercussions. The allegations of perjury can serve as a warning of the lengths Amber would go to in order to create an outcome that she wants rather than justice being served. At number 3, secret recording. Similar to the way Amber allegedly staged the scene of the 2016 incident in LA, Amber seemingly attempted to plant evidence in a way as she secretly recorded one of her arguments with Johnny in an attempt to frame him for an outburst. This footage, though it was edited, was first given to the Sun publication in order to paint Johnny as a violent and angry person, but following the trial, the full video has been released, shedding a new light on the situation. Though the original footage showed Johnny in an angered state, this new unedited footage shows Amber almost egging him on. In the video, Amber was seen propping up her phone to record one of their arguments and was seen laughing and smiling at Johnny as he got more and more upset. This was filmed during one of Johnny's hardest moments, as his mom had just passed away a few days before that video was recorded. Though it was Amber's footage and not Johnny's, this could be interpreted as a warning sign about Amber because it showed the public what she was like in real life. We watched as Amber picked a fight just to get footage that she knew she would use later for her own gain, so if that doesn't tell you enough about who she is, then I'm not sure what will. At number 2, body language. There's a clip of one of Johnny's red carpet interviews that shows just how uncomfortable he was around Amber. There have been a few instances of Johnny and Amber's body language telling a frightening story, but this one really speaks volumes. During this interview, Amber is seen standing very closely to her husband, and throughout the time the actor was speaking to the reporter, Johnny seemed to look really uncomfortable and really tense, and was constantly looking over his shoulder. He also sounded shaky and stumbled over his words a lot in that interview as well. Johnny looked genuinely afraid, as if he was anticipating something from Amber, and it's really hard to watch. This was Johnny's way of showing the public that something was wrong, but no one really clued in until much later. And finally, at number 1, I want to go home. By far, one of the biggest warnings we got from Johnny came from yet another red carpet moment during the premiere for Alice Into the Looking Glass. While on the red carpet, Johnny was asked if he had anything to say to his fans.
Globe, do you have a message for your fans right now, Mr. Depp?
I'm scared to death. I'm frightened and I don't know what to do. I'm confused and I want to go home.
And he made a comment that many people interpreted as Johnny just being funny, but now we know that there was a lot more truth in his words. Johnny literally cried out for help and no one took him seriously. He was scared and he was at a very low point in his life and no one came to save him from the nightmare that he was living.